follow suit.
Hello, Mr. Box.
I'm Mr. Good. How are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
Good. How's all the grandchildren and soccer going here?
Excellent, excellent. Soccer and lacrosse and wrestling and softball, all kinds of good stuff.
I saw Tracy the other night. She's doing the travel team again this week.
Yeah, I think she is. I think for one more time. That is such,
From a long time ago. I do.
such a good group of kids and parents.
Yeah.
It really is. It's an amazing, so I think she went one more go-around with them. They'll be in 8th grade and it'll be difficult.
That's when they start to split up too. High school.
I have no choice, so I'm gonna have to help you do it. Normally I have to run this meeting, but you're gonna have to recite this. I'm gonna do the best I can.
Okay.
This is just so you can, because you're not able to hear what I say.
Okay.
Okay.
So you,
So when we ask for this, the oath of office,
Where
this is what I'm gonna
is-
say. It's like,
I say
Phil,
it wrong. I say
is everybody
it with
on?
you.
I'll say it, but everybody else has to.
Okay.
Just say it.
Okay. Ryan, I'll reach out after the meeting just with some dates that you want to come in, maybe next week at some point.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm home usually 3:30. Like
That's fine.
Right now.
Yeah, okay. You had enough cough drops, you think? You got a sugar cough out. Oh, I can shut that door down. Everyone's on. It's 3:29, but at 1 minute. I hurt my knee. I don't know how I hurt it, which means I'm old.
It's Jeff, am I able to be heard? Someone just raised me or someone on the screen.
There's no...
Amanda, Melissa, can you wave to me? Sorry, thank you.
Oh,
Can you hear my background noise?
yeah, we hear you.
We don't hear the background
We
noise.
hear you.
All right, so
You're good.
can you still hear it now? That's
Yeah.
my own volume.
You're good.
Well,
All right, go ahead, yep. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Miller apologizes. She lost her voice, so I'm going to be assisting her this afternoon. This is to advise those present at this meeting of the Board of Education of the Pinelands Regional School District in the County of Ocean that adequate notice of this meeting was provided in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act. The notice has been posted in the Board of Education office, junior high and high school buildings. This notice was also sent to the Press of Atlantic City, Asbury Park Press, and filed with the municipal clerks, Borough of Bass River, Eagleswood Township, Little Lake Harbor Township, and the Borough of Tuckerton. Residents Forum, agenda items only. Board Policy 0167 encourages community participation in every meeting. However, the board requests that public respect a 3-minute time limit when commenting on agenda items. Anyone from the public wish to speak on agenda items only? Okay, seeing none. Report of election results. Members of the Board of Education, the annual election of the Pinelands Regional Board of Education was held Tuesday, November 5th. Ms. Lisa Betty, Ms. Crystal Martin, Ms. Patricia Martin, and Mr. Ryan Vox were elected to 3-year terms.
Do we want to do roll call?
Not yet.
Okay.
Next, Ms. Miller will be administering the oath of allegiance to the new board members, Ms. Lisa Betty, Ms. Crystal Martin, Ms. Patricia Martin, and Mr. Ryan Vox.
So just repeat after me.
Please raise
Raise your right hand. I state your name.
Aye,
I,
Brian
Crystal
Voss.
Martin,
Do solemnly swear do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith
and that I
and
will
that I will
bear
bear
true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and this state,
and
in
this
this
state,
state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people.
so help me God.
so help me God.
So help me God.
I state your name,
I, Ryan
Crystal
Voss,
Martin,
do solemnly swear that I possess the qualifications
do solemnly swear that I possess the qualifications
prescribed by law for the office
prescribed by law for the office
of member of a Board of Education,
of member of a Board of Education,
and that I'm not disqualified as a voter
and that I am not disqualified as a voter
pursuant to RS
pursuant to RS
19-4-1,
19-4-1,
19-4-1,
nor disqualified due to conviction of a crime
nor
nor
disqualified due to conviction of a crime
or offense listed in NJSA
or of
or
a crime
offense
or
listed in
offense listed in
NJSA
18A 12-1,
18A 12-1,
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
and that I will faithfully, impartially,
and
and
justly
justly
perform all the duties of that office
perform all the duties of that office
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
All right, congratulations.
Okay, I will now do, congratulations. I will now do a roll call. Miss Betty? Mr. Bonnicky?
Here,
Mr. Dalio?
Here.
Mr. Hewitt?
here,
Miss Johnson?
Here.
Miss Patty Martin?
Here.
Miss Crystal Martin?
Here.
Miss McVeigh?
Here,
And Mr. Vox?
Here.
Recommend motion to approve the board secretary to preside over the meeting. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Dalio?
second,
Miss Betty Ann? Are there any questions? Roll call vote, Miss Betty? Yes. Mr. Bonnicky? Mr. Bonnicky? We'll go back. Mr. Dalio?
Yes.
Mr. Hewitt?
yes,
Miss Johnson?
Yes.
Miss Patty Martin?
Yes.
Miss Crystal Martin?
Yes.
Miss McVeigh?
yes,
Mr. Vox?
Yes.
Do we have Mr. Bonnicky back?
yes,
Okay.
and yes.
Thank you, Mr. Bonnicky. Motion carries. Next, we have a nomination for president. Recommend motion to approve the open floor for the nominations for board president. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Dalio?
second,
Ms. McVeigh? Are there any questions?
do we want to explain the process a little bit?
You want to go through that, Will?
Okay, sure. Good evening, everyone, or good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. If I didn't have a chance to say good afternoon to you. Let me pull up your policy, because I had printed it out.
So while you do that, you want me to do a roll call?
Yeah, I
just
don't
to
think
go?
you need a roll call. You can just do
Okay,
all in
gotcha.
favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's to open up the nominations.
Yep.
Okay? The board, any board member may place a board member's name in nomination for board president and vice president. A second on the nomination is not required. Election for each office will be conducted by a vote when the nominations for that office are closed. Voting shall take place by a verbal roll call vote after nominations are closed. When more than one person has been nominated for a single position, the board will vote on candidates in the order in which they were nominated. So, there's no second needed. Whoever's nominated, if there's only one person's nominated, you do a roll call vote on that person, yes or no, okay? If more than one person is nominated, the first person who was nominated, you do a yes or no vote on that person. That person gets a majority of the votes. That person's elected to the position.
Okay. So the floor is open. Are there any nominations for president?
I
I'd like to nominate
Miss-
August Dalio.
Ms. McVeigh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
August Dalio
August Dalio.
as president.
Are there other nominations for president?
I would like to nominate Lisa Betty.
Lisa Betty? Any other nominations for president?
I would like to nominate Dave Hewitt.
Who was that?
That was Patty.
Okay.
Doing good?
We have Mr. Dalio, Miss Betty, and Mr. Hewitt. Are there other nominations for president? Okay, seeing none, we are going to be doing a roll call vote for Mr. Dalio for president. Miss, hang on one second.
Okay, I'm sorry, I lost the feed.
That's okay. Okay. This is for Mr. Dalio for president. Miss Betty.
No.
Mr. Bonnicky.
Yes.
Mr. Dalio.
Yes.
Mr. Hewitt.
No.
Miss Johnson.
No.
Miss Patty Martin.
No.
Miss Crystal Martin.
Yes.
Miss McVeigh.
Yes.
Mr. Vox.
No.
I just go to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, this is for Miss Betty for president. Okay. Miss Betty.
No.
Mr. Bonnicky.
I'm voting for who?
Miss Betty.
No.
Mr. Dalio.
Nope.
Mr. Hewitt.
No.
Miss Johnson.
Yes.
Miss Patty Martin.
No.
Miss Crystal Martin.
No.
Miss McVeigh.
No.
Mr. Vox.
No.
Okay, now we are voting for Mr. Dave Hewitt for president. Miss Betty.
Yes.
Mr. Bonnicky. All right, we'll go back. Mr. Dalio.
No.
Mr. Hewitt.
Yes.
Miss Johnson.
Yes.
Miss Patty Martin.
Yes.
Miss Crystal Martin.
No.
Miss McVeigh.
No.
Mr. Vox.
Yes.
So he got 5. Okay.
We still have to record Mr. Bonnicky's vote. He was
Okay.
muted.
Mr. Bonnicky.
Thibault?
So now what, Will?
Well, I mean, I think you just have to cast as an abstention, because it's not here. So I
Okay.
can't say yes or no, I think the okay.
Mr. Bonnicky? That was for Mr. Hewitt for president.
No.
Okay.
5-4.
So Mr. Hewitt is now president. Next, we're going to open up the nominations for vice president. Do we have a nomination?
Congratulations, David.
Thank you.
Nomination for vice president.
I nominate Mr. Dalio.
Okay.
Do we have to do a motion in a second to open the floor for nominations?
No. Will said we don't. Any other nominations for vice president?
I'll nominate Crystal Martin.
Who did? Patty did for walking.
Yes. Any other nominations for vice president?
Who did you do for?
Crystal Martin. I like the male-female team.
Okay.
Looks like that's not what was discussed.
Excuse me? I heard something?
No, talking to Crystal.
But I heard you.
Okay.
Okay.
Then why are you asking what
So
what
for
I
Mr.
said?
I heard
Dalio,
you. I hear
roll
s-
call vote.
checked.
Miss Betty,
So whack. So clueless.
Mr. Bonnicky,
Yes.
Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mr. Hewitt,
Yes.
Miss Johnson? Nope. Miss Patty Martin,
Yes.
Miss Crystal Martin,
Yes.
Miss McVeigh,
Yes.
Mr. Vaux.
Yes.
Is it necessary? Okay. So, Mr. Dalio, congratulations.
Thank
You are
you.
Vice President.
Thank you. Thank you.
How am I going to turn this over to, should I just turn it over to Augie for now?
Well, I would ask the president.
Mr. Hewitt? In light of your absence right now, do you mind me, or
Not
you're
absent.
online, you are on the
Your
phone.
online attendance.
You're online in attendance. Do you prefer me handing this over to Mr. Dalio to finish out the rest of the meeting?
Yes, I think that would be fine.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to follow it right after the Code of Ethics that everyone already has. They'll sign that, and
Yeah, we're not-
here, Amanda, you want me to give him the cheat? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Annotated,
I'm sorry.
annotated.
Oh, I don't know what it's called. It's always been called a cheat.
I understand.
So since everyone's not here, we're presented with the Code of Ethics. So when you see that, look at it, you're also going to be signing off on that too, that you received it. But we're not going to read it, and we're not going to go in a line, because it would be too hard to do that. So we're going to move on to,
Well, can I just
Go ahead.
weigh in on that? Okay, just, you are required to acknowledge the code of ethics for school board members at your organization meetings, and that is important for CUSAC purposes for governance. I would suggest that you take a look at both the School Ethics Act, which relates to conflicts of interest, and the Code of Ethics for school board members. Code of Ethics for school board members, the one most frequently employed. It's listed for you from A to J, 18A:12-24.1. I think that the rules can best be summarized as, you do not run the schools. You ensure they're well-run. If you abide by that rule, you probably will not run afoul of any of the Code of Ethics. I would suggest, however, that you really take a look at issues regarding confidentiality of information, as well as taking private action which might otherwise compromise the board. Those are the two most frequently, we see most frequently cited provisions when ethics violations are charged. But you are required to review them and acknowledge that you've reviewed them and that you understand it, and that's important for your reorganization minutes to reflect that. If you have a question regarding Code of Ethics, you can always ask the board president to allow you to speak to me as board solicitor, or you can go seek an advisory opinion from the School Ethics Commission, and they will normally act on it at their next regular meeting. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
thank you. So moving on to item 10 on the agenda, yearly approvals. Recommend motion to approve items A through F. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Do we have any questions, or is it do a second? Did I get a second? I did? Okay. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Miss Betty?
Yes.
Mr. Bonnicky?
Yes.
Mr. Dalio?
Yes?
Mr. Hewitt?
Yes.
Miss Johnson?
Yes.
Miss Patty Martin?
Yes.
Miss Crystal Martin?
Yes.
Miss McVeigh?
Yes.
Mr. Vaux?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Moving on, item 11, Title I grant. Recommend motion to approve items A through B. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions?
Is that you, Patty?
Miss Patty, yep.
Yes.
No. Roll call?
Miss Betty?
Yes.
Mr. Bonnicky?
Yes.
Mr. Dalio?
Yes.
Mr. Hewitt?
Yes.
Miss Johnson?
I had a question. We didn't have a question time for that.
No, he said any questions.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. The Dean of Students and BD program, where do they fall in the organizational chart?
She's an administrator, but it's a grant-funded position, so it wouldn't necessarily be on the organizational chart because it's only dependent on the grant monies.
Okay, and the special services supervisor, same for that, or is that the director's one that Ms. Elwood?
The special service supervisor is once again a grant-funded position and only dependent on the grant monies.
Okay. Yes.
Ms. Patty Martin,
Yes.
Ms. Crystal Martin,
Yes.
Ms. McVeigh,
Yes.
Mr. Vaux.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 12, personnel. Recommend motion to approve items A through C. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Are there any questions? Seeing none, roll call.
Ms. Betty,
Yes.
Mr. Bonnicky,
Yes.
Mr. Dalio,
Yes.
Mr. Hewitt, Ms. Johnson,
A and B, no. The leave of absence, yes.
Ms. Patty Martin,
Yes.
Ms. Crystal Martin,
Yes.
Ms. McVeigh,
Yes.
Mr. Vaux.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Moving on to residents' forum, general topics. Board Policy 0167 encourages community participation in every meeting. However, the board requests that the public respect a 3-minute time limit when commenting on any topic. Anyone from the public would like to speak? Seeing no one, may I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Abstentions? This meeting is adjourned.